Kingdom Hearts 3 is around the corner this year to everyone's surprise. So I want Kingdom Hearts 3 to be a better game than Kingdom Hearts 2, vanilla and final version. There's a good amount of gameplay and narrative footage to sift through before the disc is inserted into our consoles. A specific group of Kingdom Hearts YouTubers, not that Kingdom Hearts is the only thing they discuss, got their hands on the game before anyone else on the planet. A nice sentiment of Square Enix to make sure Kingdom Hearts 3 is a decent game at worst. I'm going to illustrate through some other games what elements Kingdom Hearts 3 could use to enhance the game before release. Most of the script was written before the premiere, but I thought I would keep what I had because there are problems that I would like to see fixed or thought were important to leave in. My biggest problem is the UI command deck menu most of the handheld games had since Birth by Sleep. Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, and Days kept the original design of the command menu. Those menus were better due to the lack of connection to the screen. The new command deck menu does have transparency, so the player can see enemies in those corners. Fuck, dude, what the fuck? I thought I turned you off. The new command deck menu does have transparency, so the player can see enemies in those corners. I prefer if the lines weren't there because it looks cluttered when it could be streamlined, as we have seen with the command menu. It simply wastes space on the screen. I feel the command deck menu is a symptom of being developed by the Osaka team. Another example would be the 3D animation of the UI for the characters. I like the style of the hand-drawn animations over the 3D sprites. 0.2 is evident of Kingdom Hearts using a 3D artwork opposed to 2D artwork for the finale of the Darkseeker saga, but I could be wrong. I doubt they will use the 2D artwork because it wouldn't make sense for 0.2 to have a 3D title menu artwork over the 2D artworks before. Gameplay is going to be interesting in Kingdom Hearts 3. The main gameplay follows Kingdom Hearts 2 with elements of the handheld games brought into the imminent numbered title. I'm not a huge fan of Triangle having multiple abilities tied to one button while also having to cycle through them with the directional buttons. I doubt any of this will be in Kingdom Hearts 3 since development is almost over to allow a deviation to change combat mechanics. These changes could be made for future Kingdom Hearts titles after the Darkseeker saga. I think it would serve the game better to tie them to a shoulder button along the lines of the magic shortcut list. I say shoulder buttons because Kingdom Hearts 3 will be the first title to be cross-platform upon launch. It would cause less time spent toggling in the directional pad, stunting movement in combat. I would also say to place the UI for the situation commands at the bottom center of the screen to diminish visual interference with combat, obviously. Tighten up the combat a bit more, the animations still feel a bit floaty. I would change the lock-on system to one of the analog buttons to make room for hot menus on the shoulder buttons. They could have the right analog stick for ease of camera movement. You lock on and use the analog to switch between enemies. I don't think they've ever done that with any of the titles, but I could be wrong. I say this because they had the lock switching on another shoulder button. I'm not saying this would be bad if they didn't implement these things. I'm only one person. It's not like they're going to take what I say into much consideration since Kingdom Hearts 3 is very close to release. I think these additional elements to gameplay would make the gameplay more cohesive and fluid. Now for the more difficult aspect of the series, the narrative. Kingdom Hearts has had a decent narrative, the smaller moments falling short of decent. Kingdom Hearts 1 is probably the only title in the franchise to have a tight narrative. How could the game be expanded to have an enhanced narrative for everyone to care? Take the God of War route. Throw in a bunch of dialogue, Donald and Goofy commenting on the worlds they go to, new and old. New worlds would be about wonderment, while old worlds would be dialogue about the differences since they've last been to said world. NPCs talking in the background, not just walking around like lifeless zombies. It would be easy fodder material to add random dialogue to those NPCs to flesh out the world. Those are all mainly for world building, but it helps the narrative and connection for the player. I say this because almost all of the important narrative moments are told through cutscenes exclusively. Blend the elements like God of War, the new one, just in case you might have thought I was referring to the Greek saga. The core narrative of Kingdom Hearts 3 is looking to be better than the handhelds, closely resembling Kingdom Hearts 1. Young Xehanort and Venus are examples of these narrative structures. Young Xehanort is in Toy Story World because the toys there are alive and he's trying to figure out how it works to apply for the core narrative. It isn't him going around being a generic bad guy. He has a plan, He is pursuing a goal. Vanitas is achieving a different goal, but a relevant one. Monsters Inc. world revolved around getting energy through fear. Vanitas creates unverse through negative emotion, a layered theme for his reason to be in the world. This could be for the main narrative or a side quest to help the world from falling back into fear structure from the first movie. Either that, or this is how the world falls, is that Vanitas is there and trying to cause fear. That fear brings more Heartless and causes the destruction of the planet. Maybe, who knows, who the fuck cares. It would seem like I'm ripping through the game before it's even out. I do understand that. I believe that footage of gameplay could give us clues to what it would feel like, but it isn't the actual game. They could fix all the issues seen in the footage, and they could have all the aspects I talked about implemented in the game already. I love Kingdom Hearts, and I just want Kingdom Hearts 3 to be the best it can be because the handheld titles haven't gotten the love numbered titles do. There is added doubt stacked onto this title due to the Osaka team developing the game, the team in charge of all the handheld titles. Spoiler alert, they weren't good. I give them credit, they patched a lot of problems in 0.2, a good sign of what is to come from the gameplay the Kingdom Hearts YouTubers will get their hands on. They will be able to give the developers feedback about the gameplay to improve upon before release. I would say they should have Bloody Biscuits there to make sure the game is as tight as possible, but they didn't, unfortunately. So we just had to settle for him looking at gameplay, which you should actually go watch. It's really good. That's all I got for you and the Kingdom Hearts series so far. I wanted to get these thoughts on Kingdom Hearts 3's gameplay and narrative before it comes out. Tell me in the comments what kind of elements of gameplay you would like to see in Kingdom Hearts 3. See you in the next video. Get out. You